Let's go, you guys. Okay, today I'm gonna do kind of a test fit. I'm not gonna try to final install these because I'm not sure if I can. I know I'm missing a couple elements, but let's look at what we have. We've got the grill. This is a 71 Corvette. We got the grills. We've got the bumper guards or bumperettes. There's two mounting holes for those. And then I've got some 7/16, 5/8 bolts. I've got 1 1/4 and 1 inch. Got a bunch of washers, lock washers, and this rubber thing that I made. And we're gonna look at how this goes together. So first of all, on my car, which is the 71, the bumper has this arm that comes down, and this hole right here is for this, the back of the bumper guard. So that goes right in there like that. And then this is the thing I don't have right now is there's a, I don't know the word for all these, but there's a spot right here where you're gonna put a screw or bolt down, and then it comes out this way, and then there's another angle, so it's like a 90-degree. So that's a special piece. And then this hole, you use that hole to attach a bolt into that bracket that would go here. I don't have these offhand. I took the car apart 3 years ago, and that's one of the things that I'm sure got misplaced. And other than that, I have the headlight, the plastic headlight bulb guards, but I don't know where they are at the moment, and I'll probably need to put those in later. Also, I don't think these are the right parts for this. In fact, I'm sure they're not. I just have these kind of flimsy speed nut. Is that a for speed? Well, whatever these are called. These little guys. I'm sure this is not right. I know there's another style for these. So it's not, this is all not going to go together perfect, but like I said, I just want to kind of do a test fit right now and see where we're at. So I'm going to start off by, I think, hanging the bumperettes or bumper guards from these mounts up here. And then the lower mount here, the hole down there, is here. Oh, and I also have to go grab, which I do have, I have the rubber or plastic, I don't know what even that is called, but the little plastic piece that goes along the bottom, like the air dam or whatever. So I'll grab that, and then we can put this together. Okay, so I put this piece up in there very loosely hanging, and you got to get this little edge on top of there, otherwise you're not going to get it on after you attach it up here. Looking at the little air dam, there's 3 slots in it, 2 on the sides and 1 in the middle. And there's a lip under here that needs to go into this slot. On my car, it's broken from here over, well, just a little bit right here. And you can see that this is cracked, unfortunately, right there. Can you see that little crack? There's also some damage down here that happened after I painted it. So I'm going to try to put the passenger side on right now. I'm going to use this 1 1/4 bolt, and then I'm going to put, it's going to be stacked like this. Let me give you the view. So these two, and then on the other side, on this side, I'm going to put this piece of rubber, which I just cut and made, and it's ugly, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to put this piece of rubber and then a washer. All right. In fact, I might make a bigger piece of rubber because I noticed that it's practically going to slip into this hole right here. So, you know what? I'm going to make a little bit bigger piece and then put that there, and then put the washer on top of it. And then I'll try to attach all that. I'll try to sandwich all that with that 1 bolt. Because nothing's simple, let me show you what I'm doing, you guys. So I took off the brackets that are behind these lower mounts. They go here. And I just cleaned them all out. I put anti-seize up in here. I put some rust inhibitor on there. And then I also chased all these bolts because these were almost seized. I had a hard time getting them out. I'm surprised that none of them broke. I got them out. I cleaned them up. I got anti-seize on them. I've got rust shield on all the washers. I'm not going to replace these because frankly, they just need to go in and stay in. But I got all that prepped. I also patched this little crack right here. It's a little crack. And once I put the air dam in, I'm not going to be able to really get to this very easily. So I'm going to go ahead and fix that. Just do a quick fix and I'll slap some paint on there and it'll be okay. And then we'll put it back together. I don't know about you guys, but here's how I don't waste paint. So I prepped this area with some Bondo. Yeah, I'm just gonna paint right on the Bondo. I'm not gonna do a primer. And what I did is I put some hardener in this little spoon, and then in this container, I've got a mixture of color and reducer. So we're just gonna add the color and reducer in there, and we're gonna mix it with the brush and paint it, and hopefully that does the job. We'll see. First coat. Okay, here are the brackets that have been painted, rehabbed a little bit. Just put some paint on those. There's the fix right there. I'll have to finish it later as far as sanding and buffing, but I'm not really worried about it. Not a big deal. What I'm going to do right now is raise the bumper up a little bit to make room for the bumper guards. And I'm going to try to, first I'm going to install the brackets and the lower valance. I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. Not too mysterious though. You just put these on, and then the reason I had to take these off though, or at least loosen them, is because this valance sits up against the inside of the body, and then these go on top of it. So I'll show you that. Let me show you guys what I'm doing and maybe give you a little advice. So this plastic air dam, let's call it, it's not really fit to the car perfectly. You can probably, if you look at the evidence of that, the lip here is pretty much at a 90 degrees, and then as it comes out to the front, because this had to bend more, this is sticking down now. Not really a problem, but I took a heat gun and I just gently warmed this area now that I have this one in place over here, this bracket. What I did is I put a bolt through. Now I'm doing the second side, but I put a bolt through to hold the bracket in place, and then I tighten it down, right? So then I know it's pretty much in the right spot. And that's that. And you can see that looks way better than it did before. It's all cleaned up and it's got anti-seize and all that, so it'll be good. So I'm gonna keep moving. One thing though is that the way the bracket is in here right now, there's not a lot of wiggle room, so I'll probably chip this little piece of whatever that is, little fiberglass resin out, and then try to open this up so there's a little bit more wiggle room. But we'll see when I get the bumper guard going if I need to make that bigger. But basically, you're gonna keep everything loose, keep all the brackets loose and everything until you're ready to finalize the alignment. So we're gonna tighten up this bracket, and then we'll be pretty close to being able to at least do a test fit of the bumper guards. All right, I have no idea what the factory spec is, but I'm doing this. So these are just things I had sitting in a bucket somewhere, but they look fairly legit. right? At least from the front, and then just putting that on the back. And that goes in the two sides, the two front sides. So there, and then there's one more set of screws that you need to put in over here. Does that line up? Where is that? Yeah, that's not lining up great, but that's gonna go in over here, right over here, like that. Okay, well, I'm running out of shade here in my garage, believe it or not, because there's not enough room to work with the door shut, really. But here's what I've learned. It's kind of difficult to get this bolt threaded from behind there, coming out and going into here, and then you have to put a little washer in there or a spacer. I've got a couple different ones, thicker one. I guess originally they would have a thicker one. I'm not sure what size, but you want to have a washer in there like that. That's going to be basically like that, like flat, because you don't want this edge, you don't want that to be too tight, because it'll crack this fiberglass. So you want to have a spacer there, but I haven't had a lot of success getting that thing threaded, so I'm going to stop with that for right now. But before we go, look what I found. Yes, my friends, this was just sitting on my workbench, sitting there waiting for like 3 years to be found. I only found one, but I know exactly what I'm looking for now. And I hope I have the other side. I might not, but this, and it even says, where's the printing? Right here. It has a serial number and it says left hand. So this is the driver's side, and this will go, it'll attach right to that, right there. And then you see that little screw, and I'm excited that it has it in there. So that sits like that, just like that. And then that screw goes right into that hole, right on the grill. So we'll see that put together later, but I'm really glad I have this, because at least I have a model, and maybe I can make one if I can't find it, or maybe I can buy the right hand, or I can find it, but at least I have one of them, so that's pretty cool. Check it out, dudes. So I was gonna make my own bracket for the passenger side, because this one is for the driver's side, and I was looking at some sheet metal, kind of thin though. This is quite a bit thicker, and then lo and behold, so I made a little template, but then check it out, look what I found. How convenient. So I can have this basically the same thickness, and just a tiny, like this, the angle is a tiny bit less, but that doesn't even matter. So I'm just going to chop out a piece. Now I'm going to go for a mirror image of this one, so obviously it won't be exactly the same, but yeah, happy about that. So let's get to work. What do you guys think? Can you even tell which is which? You probably can. But I'm very happy with the way these turned out, right? You can tell this is a little rough. This is the original. But pretty happy with that. I mean, this is just something I had in the side yard. Really, I mean, the only difference at this point or one of the main differences, is that this one has the GM numbers on it, and this one doesn't. I hit it with a little wrinkle paint, mostly because that's what I had. But anyway, let's move on. Okay, there we go. So So this is the original side, and I found this little setup to use for that. This is original here. And then on the other side, I found this little setup, which is pretty beefy. That'll work great. And then I use the same clip. And it's loose enough so that it's adjustable. All right, so those are good to go. We can move on with the grill installation. Alrighty then. Okay, guys, well, I skipped ahead a little bit. And pretty much got the front assembled. Let me show you. Now, of course, it's not perfect. The hockey stick and the bumperette often don't line up perfectly. And that's okay. I actually find it part of the charm of the car. It's just the way they are. But I got my little tab brackets working on both sides. I got most of the bottom clips in this one. This one I have to do some fitment stuff. Light still like missing a screw, but blah blah blah, it's fine. Alignment up here is okay, a little gap in the front, but I think that's probably normal. Got those in pretty nice. No big secret on how those go in. What can I show you? Oh, this is a weird thing. Look right here. You see that chip? So that is from the headlight. I don't even know what that's called, like bezel or something. It rubs right. Can I show you? Right there. See that? It hits on this. Can you believe that? So that's pretty crazy. So now I got to get in here with a grinder, and I have to grind. I'll show you on this side. It's easier. I got to grind like this corner down over here because that rubs, which is insane. Now you might think, well, you can just move the bumper over, which a normal situation maybe you could, but mine is already, like, there's the center of the car right there. So mine is already over to the driver's side too much. This gap is great. This is really good, as I've shown before. This one is massive. So it's on some level, I would love to move the whole bumper over, but I'm not sure that would be the right fix. I think I'm just going to grind that. But other than that, what do you think, you guys? I have to put the headlight bulb protector covers on as soon as I can find them. But I'm pretty happy with the way this is turning out. Of course, everything has to be wrestled into place. There's nothing not one part of these did I just bolt on, without some finagling. But that's okay. All's well that ends well. All right. Well, that's it for this video. I'll check in with you guys later on the next piece of the project. See ya.